Good morning, and welcome to part 3 of Arranging Live. So, we are doing the Gusty Garden Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy, and we're continuing on with part 3 of the series. And today we're going to hopefully finish the arrangement and also do some polish work to get it even better. If you would, please like, subscribe, and go to Beatix Music on YouTube so you can see more content like this, more live streams, and also check out some new videos. I just released one yesterday, and actually really happy with how it came out. So, let's get started. Good. And we should be all set. If you would, please let me know how everything is going in the chat. Tell me how your life is. If everything's going well. If you're having a wonderful morning. All the fun stuff. So, today we're going to be doing the last little section. And we're going to be actually, like I said, polishing and everything. But we still have to input the last little section of this. So, let's go ahead and take a listen. We completed this last time. Starting right here. Hey Eric, hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching. Cool, so that's the section that we're going to be working on, and hopefully going back and doing some polishing for the rest of it. So, again, we're going to start with inputting the melody. So, cut this guy off. Boop. Bumby. I've heard this melody a lot because I played too many video games when I was younger. No, I don't really anymore, but I used to a lot. So I heard this in Super Smash Brothers. It was actually in Mario Kart 8 as well. So I've heard this melody a lot, and so it's kind of ingrained in my brain. Mainly this part, not the rest of it. Da da dee dee bee dee bee. So for anyone else out there, this is a program called Sibelius. Most of the music people will know about this. They know Sibelius, Finale, and Dorico. Those are the three major notation programs. That was disgusting. I'm so sorry. I actually started with Finale when I was younger. And I moved over to do Sibelius because a composition professor was like, "Hey, you should use Sibelius more. It's much better." And I did, and I agree with him. And now I have a whole bunch of people who are triggered. I'm sorry. Nothing wrong with Finale. It's actually really, really good as well. I just like this more because you see how fast I can input music. I think the shortcuts are faster, in my opinion. Data. Yep. And we're gonna fix some of this later. See? I think that was about like 20-ish measures or so. But inputted very quickly. So 16, I think. 17. Thinking phrasing and all those numbers. Talking about last time we were discussing double flats in that side, this is a perfect place where you can see why the double flat is more important to have instead of a natural that is a step lower, because you actually can see the line a lot more clearly. Da da dee da da dee dee. This one's necessary, this flat's not necessary. It looks really funky, but at the same time, you can see clearly that it's going up in the line. Double checking by doing a quick listen. Oh, that's one thing. So, pretty close. Where is it? Right there. Boop. Oh, nope. There we go. All fixed. So, like I said last time, we're going to be primarily focused on the bass line and inputting that first. That's so we can actually have an idea of how the harmony kind of is. It's not going to give a good reflection, but at least we can have a basis, baseline basis, a little base for everything, and see how we can change chords over time and get it more like the actual harmonies from here. You could obviously look up the sheet music and do it that side. I think this is like without actually, you don't have music most of the time. This is just a good way to test yourself, see how good you can get your ear. So, all right, let's see. E flat, F, G flat. So it goes, but we're going to add the rhythm in just to save a little bit of time too. Let's do right here so we can see them back to back. We're going to change the spot. So it goes dum 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 dum. A little different rhythm, but at the same time, no. I'll show you. Dum 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 dum. I'll put it as a full thing of what I actually want to input later. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, a Mario insert, very, very blatant one. If you think about the start, almost same rhythm. Really cool. I think the interesting thing of dissecting and doing these arrangements is you can see what the composer is thinking really clearly when you're doing an arrangement of it. And all the little hidden gems is really awesome. Okay, YouTube is back, and Facebook is back, I think. Let me know if everything's back up and running. I think it should be. Okay. From what I see green lights, so let's continue on. So, F, G flat, and it goes down one note from the bass line. B flat, yep. Ooh. So I was wrong about these pitches. But I'll show you what it is. 2 seconds. Two. Yes, this is the boring part. But the bass line and the melody are the most important things to add in. So being really crucial with these guys is the most important thing. So this is actually what it is, and we might do some tweaking to it, because if you see the line, it doesn't work too well. It's like dun 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 dun. That works, but I'm not a fan of this just yet. We're gonna test out some things. One more listen, double check. Good, and most likely, we're going to keep the same feel. That's weird. There we go. Sorry, having some technical issues today. Cool, got that. We're basically repeating it because most likely it's going to be very similar, if not the exact same harmonies. So, listening again, you can infer what the harmony is already. So, we're going to go at our basic. To let you know how I'm figuring this out. So, I'm thinking first basic harmony. This is in D flat major. Most likely, because this is the happier section, this is most likely in D flat. So I'm like, okay, D flat. We have an A flat already. We're going to have an F here because this is just D flat and D flat. But the bass line moves up to this pitch. So I want to get something that's constant and has that pitch going all the way through. So I'm going to do this A flat as a constant moving forward. Hey Ricardo, hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. And then I see the next pitch. I see this G flat and E flat. So I'm like, let me infer that that's going to be an E flat major chord. So I went ahead and put a B flat. I'm guessing, but I'm making strategic guesses. You see? So continue on. Let's listen to it. Cool. So I'm going to move that down. That's in a harmony mute right now, or some type of mute. And it's kind of changing my perception of that. So I'm going to actually get rid of it and put it with a trumpet part so I can hear that. I can also just change it to open to get to change the sound. See? Even from the inferences I was making was very effective. So here's where we get a little difference. Let's listen and see what we can guess. Oops. Again, experimenting is a good idea. And it's not a bad thing at all either. We get some B flats. We're gonna try B flat major first. I know that B is B flat major. That's what I'm trying it. We're gonna try F minor now. Gross. Oh, that's why. This doesn't seem correct anymore, but this seems a little bit better. Let's go from here to here. Not a fan of that. Let's try this. Same chord, but I just changed that C to be up an octave. You can see that fix. That was actually a voice leading fix. That's already way better. Is it correct? Maybe not. But it's much better. And it actually has a better flow now. I still think this doesn't work, but I think that's a timbre thing. As in, we probably do need a mute, and we need something like that. Cool. So, let's go back. We're going to have more voices in, because this will help progress. I think I'm going to add that part. I don't know if you guys hear it, but there's like a bum bum ba, bum ba, 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 ba. It has a really cool little eighth note line in the middle of this. So this is actually going to be a really awesome section. You can hear all the rhythmic dissonances in this because it's like 16th note triplets, basically this figure, dum dum dum, with like it's actually a really cool section. I see why people like this one a lot, including me, and why it's stuck in my head. So let's go. Let's do just in. I'm basically taking what I heard and making something up from it. Am I copying exactly? No. Because I'm going to copy it and change this from what I hear by doing listen over listen. Yep, that needs to be over 1/8 note. See how fast Sibelius is? Just move it over one, and then boom, it's new. So, bumping. I think that's gonna fix this here. I'm adding that just for this measure to see if this fixes the harmony. So let's check it out. Oh, much better. So let me tell you the madness of my thoughts. So this part, it kind of gets a 2 feel, as in it feels like it's 1, 2 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, accenting the half note instead of the quarter note. It gives it this little like lifting feel. But the cool part is when you add that against the bass line, it gives a really cool, like, disorienting effect, kind of like we were talking about in the beginning, but more of like a, like, where's the downbeat? So. And the cool part is, these guys hit, like, so this doesn't have a hit on 2, so this voice hits it, but then they come back together on the and of 3. Sorry, I said 2. I meant 3. Feeling it like in 2, like I said before. So let's listen one more time. This is getting actually really cool. So, another inference thing to actually see if you can guess the harmony or not. So, we have a C flat at the bottom and a G flat on top. So, if you think about that, that is a perfect fifth. What's the note in the middle? What's the third? You got an E flat. So, you can kind of infer what the harmony would be that way. Cool, right? And saying it's cool, like, everyone's like a big music nerd like me. I like being a music nerd. It's fun. So this is a filler thing to kind of see what the harmony is. So some reason why some harmonies work and some harmonies don't. Some chords are actually using sevenths instead of just a regular triad. What that means is there's basically, instead of 3 pitches in the chord, you know, thinking a regular major chord, C, E, G, you can have a 7th, C, E, G, B flat. So it has a little thing of 7 notes instead of, 4 notes instead of 3. So figuring out what the other note is can be tricky sometimes. So that's, if you think the harmony doesn't fit, that might be the reason why. So we're going to not do back to the beginning, even though I like it. We're going to start at this F minor chord. It's not too bad. I don't think it's still what I want with the harmonies, but I think the sustain notes that I'm going to put in is going to really help with that. And like I said, we're going to do a repeat here. So we're basically going to take all these voices and we're going to go boop, 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 boop. Is it going to work exactly? No. That's not the point. It's to get the basis there and to continue moving forward, knowing what you're going to do in advance. So it's like, yep, that's probably not right, but we're going to come back to it and it gets the same feel. So what I'm thinking right here is keep this here, but do a big dun 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 bum bum bum. So we're gonna add the other voices in that I think are necessary for that right now, or at least the other ideas to really get that idea. That was redundant. Thanks, Ryan. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the feedback. Also, if you're watching right now, please like this channel, BDix Music, and look out for some more content coming soon too. Continuing on. Let's add the sustains. I think it's going to be good to do that now. Let's do. And thanks, Evan. I really appreciate it too. Just so you know, this is being done on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I'm getting systems down. It's great. So, this is definitely trickier than I expected too. Not gonna lie. It's fun, but it's definitely tricky. I really want to add a counter melody. I'm going to do it right now, and I'll show you. It's actually what I had in mind of the polish thing from before. You'll see when we go back to the beginning. So this should at least give us an idea if the harmony does work. I like that, but I don't think it works necessarily as harmon mute. Harmon mute, so for those who don't know, here's a harmon mute. You see this guy? It's a stem. You can take the stem out, and if you check out the last video that I just made, Broken Mirror, you actually can hear the difference between this and this. So I consider this being a much more like punchy, good for if you want like the do, 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 like a clear attack. This is good if you want to sustain and getting a fuller sound. Both can work as a sustain, but you definitely don't want this as it. I think this actually works really well for a melody if you have the stem out. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here is what if I really want stem out or stem in, and I'm thinking stem in, or I move completely to a cup mute and or something else. So another trick is, since this is the full section, we can have a little bit more fun. And just for time's sake, we're going to do straight mute with cup mute. Both at the same time, as in we're having 4 voices do it. It gives a fuller texture and gives a much, much grander sound. I actually did this at one section for that transition of the Broken Mirror. You should check that video out. It has some really cool mute ideas. I was experimenting with that type of stuff. So you're not going to hear it here, but check out that video and see what I mean. Again, I think this is premature, but I like the idea. I like the fullness that it's getting. So I'm not going to just say that, like, explain what I'm kind of doing with these lines and this side. Honestly, if you're in college, you should take a counterpoint class if you want to know more about this stuff. Like doing this, like the creative things in the middle. That's really where you get that knowledge. You can learn it without it, but I think a counterpoint class really helps with that. If you have time. I know most college students are really stressed right now in general. Okay. Oops. Premature. Getting a lot of dings. Sorry, guys. I like that. But again, I think this is actually going to be for the next version. Like over here. When we do it the second time. Because that adds some variation. We want to hear this cool groove section in the first part. And hear the groove and not be distracted by this cool counterpoint. So I'm actually going to copy and paste this over here because I already know I want to do that. It's so high, it's not going to take away from the melody, but it's going to be distracting for sure. And what we're going to do, you want to see why Sibelius is so much better? I bet you can do this finale too, but copy, paste, delete, and octaves. Boop. Oh, well. You know, when you do something magical and it doesn't work. Woo. It's like, yeah. Oh, nothing happened. And we're going to probably do some actual closer harmonies here as well. But not at this current moment. So back our little... Let's bring it down to these voices. This is going to be a distraction when we get to that point. Let's use lower voices, actually. I'm going to put these as tenuto. Oh yeah, you're still a flugelhorn. I know you guys saw that. I'm sorry. I'm a busy guy, and everyone wants to talk to me when I do stuff. Almost there. Thanks, Marcus. I really appreciate the honest and helpful feedback. I'm definitely looking for this to be more educational, but also fun to watch. So let's check that out. I don't think I'm sold on this yet. No, we're gonna do straight tone. So I was trying to see if we wanted to do half notes to keep the rhythmic momentum going up. It distracts from it because this is engaging enough as it is. We don't need to add anything extra. So we only need sustains. That was a weird high note. Boop. Let's try that. And I'm actually going to take a little bit. It's basically kind of implying this idea from before. But now we're an octave lower. I'm going to take this one. Octave lower. I don't think that note's going to work. Remember, this is F minor. I think it has a D flat in there. That's why I added that one in. But I think that's going to be too... We didn't want much D flat. We want to hear the F minor as the primary thing. Oops. Caught myself. That was going to be nasty. And that looks nasty. But it's all fixed now. Happiness. Okay, continuing. So I wasn't happy with the fact that that was, it went like D, yeah, and went down to a lower pitch. So I literally just changed these guys to move up one pitch tone in the chord. So I went da D instead of going down. I went up one because G flat major, you can either do G flat, B flat, or D flat. So I was like, oh, let's go. And to be really clear, instead of going like there, I'm like, let me try going up instead to give more room for this guy. So now, I think this is going to work better, but it's still pretty distracting. I'm going to put cup mute for this right now. Getting a fluffy sound. Boop. For those non-trumpet players, let me... 1 second. No performer, if you're listening to my live stream, I'm not happy with your cup mute sound. A cup mute sounds like this. Or, if you close it. That sounds like a harmon. Listen to that. That does not sound like this. Blech. So keep that in mind when you're listening to this. When you listen for that cup mute sound, that's not going to sound like that. Never trust your MIDI or your computer sounds fully. That is a rule of thumb you should know. Because this is going to feel a lot more open than what it sounds like right now. Let's add more rhythm drive. We're basically going to take these same harmonies, but now we're going to open. This kind of ruins that bass line, but it's trumpet ensemble. We don't really have much options, so I'm taking the... I know, it bothers me so much. What I'm going to see is if we bump up this bass line, if that's going to make this a little less distracting. And we're going to put this as a mezzo forte. Band directors are always saying, like, shape the line, shape the line. So I'm shaping the line. I hope all band directors, or if band directors are watching, if they're going to be happy with that. Let me know in the comments. See, it's actually coming together now. It's becoming a thing. A very cool thing. I like things. The coffee's kicking in. Yay. Let's do this. I want to add another voice to this. And I actually want to add more color to it too. We're allowed to do this right now because I'm doing the recording of this. And I can add anything I want and add as many voices as I want. Of course, you have to make strategic decisions when you are doing this as a restricted idea. But this can give you the full texture of what you want and give you some colors and different decisions. So I'm basically going to do this voice, but I'm going to add 2 different timbres at the same time. What that's going to do is basically make it feel more like an orchestral sound. When you add more voices on top, you actually, like what with different timbres, it gives a much more open and characteristic idea. It's almost like you have like a violin string and then you add, I don't know, like a clarinet on top of that. It gives this really cool, like the hollowness of a clarinet and then the precision and fullness of a string. So that's basically what we're doing here. And you can already hear the difference. I want to do some cool like rhythm things. I like this. And we're probably going to alter this in polishing mode. It looks like we're going to do a part 4, guys. A part 4 because I'm kind of going on tangents and like showing off some cool things. So I think that's a good idea though. We're basically going to do a copy and paste with this again. We already got this voice up here. We're going to basically add this down here now. Let's see how the transition goes. Mainly, I'm going to try to speed it along a little bit more. I actually kind of like that. So some mistakes like that can actually originate to be some really cool ideas. So like what I'm actually going to do right here, because I heard that mistake and I was like, I actually kind of like the idea of that. Not it exactly, but doing stuff like this. dun, da, dee, dee, dee. So now it's going to sneak in. Everyone's like, no, you shouldn't make a mistake. You should know that. It creates some cool things. Actually, for that, I keep on referencing the broken mirror video, but I got some really cool ideas by messing a lot of stuff up. So I think that was probably my best product so far in terms of artistic creativity and exploring things. So, sorry, Mike. So, when something happens, you're like, oh, I don't like that. Think, wait, that might actually be kind of cool to do. Yeah, I think this is going to be really nice once we get some better, fuller stuff in here. Now we really got to highlight this guy. And this is not going to cut it. Now, again, this is artistic liberty because we're talking trumpet ensemble here, guys. Trumpets! A whole bunch of trumpets. There's already too many trumpets in the world. No, there's never enough trumpets. I should know. I did literally 27 trumpets in one video at one time. But with that, we're restricted for our range and what we're able to do with the harmonies on that side. So we got to get creative on how we can get this full texture and get something that's overwhelming. So we're gonna try actually having some harmony that's not really in the arrangement. But let's fix the harmony. Check this out. Let's see. That's not necessarily going to work, and all this is not going to work. But what I'm basically doing is I'm adding either sixes or thirds to get that fuller texture for this. And again, it's not in the arrangement. I'll give you guys a reference listening to hear that. If you hear closely, we're actually kind of doing those harmonies and that part under it. So it's actually there. Let's do another listen. And this is where the harmony changes, and we have to do some different stuff, and we have to basically do all these changes. The goal for today, I'm going to actually finish the end of this and get a complete idea from beginning to end. Intro. Here's the reveal. So, Mario Galaxy music for trumpet. This is actually going to be a medley. So that's why I didn't do an intro. So we're going to come back to the intro and the ending, and it's not going to feel complete yet, but that's on purpose because it's going to be a full medley of Mario. So let's do... I like this, and I like this. Let's fill out these voices a little bit more. once you have full textures, the most important thing to do, especially for your finale, is to go ahead and add doubling and see everything, and then change little by little from there. So we're gonna take this guy. Rain. Oh, ooh. I know, I'm moving too fast for myself. That's actually a common occurrence. It's not just not just for this video. Double checking to see if this new texture works. And I'm gonna see if I can add one more thing in. So now I like the texture. How many trumpets do we have right now? We can do more trumpets. Oh. We'll see. I want to finish the idea, and then we're going to add some other cool things later. If you're wondering why my videos go up to be about 14 so trumpets or more, this is the exact reason. We're going full scale, and I'll actually... Yeah, I can't promise that yet, but we can show how you can pare this back, too, to get something that actually works for like 6 trumpets or 5 trumpets. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, too. I would be happy to put that in the brain thoughts idea area of things. So let's go ahead and fix this chord. I'm going to go ahead and move this to a different place too, over here too. Because I'm not a fan of this chord still. I'm just going to keep it at an F for right now. You can actually mark and do stuff like fix later. So you have an indicator of what you really want to do in a certain moment. And while my thoughts on it, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Again, I'm going to continue on, but please, if you would, check out my website at bdixmusic.com, and also check out my YouTube at bdixmusic for more videos and more teaching videos for trumpet in particular, and more live stream stuff. Thanks for watching. Let's continue on. Boop. Also, if you have any comments or anything, I would love to hear them, or any suggestions or thoughts about arranging in general and composing in general, or trumpet. Feel free to chat. Or if you're just enjoying this, let me know that you're enjoying it too. Let's continue on with fixing this chord. Moving this guy up, it would be actually helpful. Fine. Let's put that down. Again, I'm don't want as much doubling, so I'm actually fanning it out. That's what I'm fanning it out to get more voices over the full spectrum as possible of this chord. Let's try that, because we have a flat right there. So we have double F with a bass, and then we have A flat and C's. So let's continue on. Cool. Is this gonna work without doing much? Check the bass line. I think there's just one double check we need to do. Looks like we need to complete this counter melody, and then this should actually be in a much better spot. Let's go ahead and just copy this over, and then we can play with pitches and things. First start with just the first measure. That's not going to work too well. Cool, let me explain what I just did. So, I don't know about this part right now. That part I might have to do a couple more passes through of listening, but I'm gonna guess this is what this part is. It's kind of focusing on a fifth passage throughout most of this, which I think will actually work. So let's hear that with the full. The thing is because, yeah, that's not super right, but it's actually not bad either. When I said going, like, I know this is the fifth for sure, and then it moves to thirds, I'm gonna guess, as the next alternative. Let's see. I mean, that's gonna sound the best, but something tells me that this fifth is not gonna be as desirable. So, full context? See, it's just too happy. It's not just like definitive. Let's check that guy out. I think that's actually going to work better than it sounds with the MIDI right now, with the full everybody. And we're going to do something simple as filling out the chord. Again, the way that we're filling out the chords, we're finding the nearest note. And basically plopping that in. This isn't going to work too well, though. And I'll explain why. No, actually, this is going to work fine. Because we're going to have these to get the higher voice. If you notice, we have a lot of, it's like lower pitches, and then all of a sudden it jumps up to a high A flat. It's going to seem very hollow because of that reason. So we're going to not do that. try that. Why do I keep on saying, like, work on thirds and sixes? Because it's just, it works. Yeah, that's not bad. But you hear what I mean with the last note? It's just not as full. Ugh. So. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have these voices. Da-da-dee. Go from being counter melodies to actually accompanying the main melody. Dum da da dee. Ah, that's what needs to be fixed. Instead of doing this, oh, that's why it worked. I think there were C's before in this part. Yeah, right here. Instead of doing any C's or having C's being there, making it C flat. So it's actually a minor chord, not a major chord. Continuing on. And this will actually work really well because this being a different timbre on that third, that actually takes off the edge for it, instead of being just a complete open trumpet part. Copy and paste this. Like I said, I'm actually making it the full melody, so now it feels like a fuller idea to this. Let's see if this works. Boop. Oop, wrong last note, but not bad. So, let's hear this whole idea and see what we can do in terms of finalizing it. Cool. So I'm going to fill this guy in right now so we can finish this, and then we can talk about polishing and tweaking as our finale. Yeah, so we're going to take the same principle as before and make this, the long notes actually follow the melody. But we're still going to just keep this as that because I want it to be the clear transition point. And we're going to copy... Just making sure it works. Again, I'm thinking this, but thinking thirds. So bring it down. I'm just checking to see from the harmonies I remember if it actually works or not. I think we are ready to call this complete for right now. There we have it. Let's go ahead and cap it off, all these measures. Boop, boop. Now, this isn't the perfect arrangement yet. This isn't really the final product. This is, I would say, about 85-90% done for the full thing. We're going to go ahead and do this as a finale. Let's listen. Listen to the arrangement, then listen to... listen to the original, and then listen to the arrangement. I'm looking forward to hearing this section live. Oh, there's a horn part here we need to highlight. Definitely want to fix this guy. Listen to it. Okay. Again, we're not adding a tag because this is going to be a medley. So, let's listen to our version. I love that part. Got an oboe part to put in here too. Not bad. So, again, I call this still 85% done. There's still a good bit that we need to fix and polish up. And it has to deal with transitions, has to deal with feel. So I think this is a good space. And you could say, oh, that was great. There's some tweaking. We're going for polish. We're going for quality here. So with that, I think it is time to end for today. Again, thank you so much for watching, for arranging live, and tune in next week for the final version of this. I know, I keep on saying, oh, it's going to be the final version for next week, but as arranging. Plus, I didn't realize all the teaching would be this much. Please go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like this video, like all the other videos too. Just check some stuff out, see what I do, and also go to my website, bdixmusic.com, to see more of my arrangements, more of my compositions, and that side of me too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next Saturday. Bye.